R.O.C.K. Listen, we're going to get right into it. Today is a good one, okay? We're at Matthew, right? The book of Matthew, chapter 14, right? We're going to start with that one. Now, Matthew 14, right? Jesus is feeding 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Now, this is an incredible miracle because the people came out to hear him preach. 5,000 people, he was preaching. They were there with him a little while. Everybody started getting hungry. His disciples came to him and said, look, everybody's hungry. We got to feed them. What are we going to feed them? I think there's a little boy has 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And he goes to him, and they take those things, and Jesus blesses them, and they're able to feed 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Enough that everybody ate till they were satisfied. And they also had enough to fill up a couple of more baskets after everybody had eaten. Now, that's a great miracle. That's awesome. Incredible. But when we go to that same very chapter, he feeds them in chapter 14, verse 13. He's feeding the 5,000 with the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fish. But then in verse 22, he's walking on water, right? Because after the people had talked, he went out. Jesus went and told the guys, go ahead of me. You know, I'm going to stay here and pray. I got to pray and rest up. You guys, talk to the 12 disciples, go on ahead of me to the other side of the lake, because they had done it like by water. Go back to the other side and I guess set up camp on the other side, right? So they head out, the disciples head out in their little boat, whatever, and they're going over to the other side, and a storm comes up. A crazy storm comes up in the water, right? So they're freaking out, right? Earlier in the Bible, we see that they were in the boat again with Jesus, and there was a storm, and Jesus was sleeping in the boat, and they were like, Jesus, you know, what's going on? We're gonna die. And he says, you guys don't got any faith. And he tells the wind and the water to chill out. The wind and the water stops. It calms down. And they say, what kind of man is this that even the nature pays attention to him? So right there, he shows them his power as Jesus being God, and then he feeds them. He in front of him feeds 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And then he tells them, okay, guys, I'm going to stay here, pray. You guys go to the other side. They go in their boat, go on the other side. A storm comes up, and they're freaking out again, thinking like God's not going to be with them. You know, that Jesus being God, he's not going to be with them. So then they're freaking out, saying, oh, my goodness, Jesus forgot about us. We're going to die in this boat. And the boat's, all crazy with the storm and all that. And then they look out, and they see a guy walking towards them on the water. They see someone coming towards them walking on the water, and they're freaking out. And they think it's a ghost. Now, that's like so crazy because they had just seen the miracles that Jesus had done, but yet they would first have a tendency to think that it was a ghost coming to them rather than thinking it was Jesus coming to rescue them. But that's our nature, right? As people, we never see the good in anything. We're always looking for the bad. Jesus just fed 5,000. He's walking on the water to save them, and they're thinking it's a ghost. Anyway, I read this verse, and it came to me. We never know what angle Jesus is going to approach us from. In our preconceived minds, we preconceive God's help only coming from a certain direction. We have a problem, we say, oh God, I need you to fix it this way. And then when we don't see God fixing it that way, we have a tendency to think that God has left us, that Jesus is no longer with us, and he's not going to help us. Never really realizing how close, just like they didn't realize how close he was walking towards them on the water, they never looked at the angle that he might be coming from walking on the water. I don't understand. I don't know what they were thinking, how he was going to help them, but they sure weren't thinking that he was going to be walking towards them on the water, just like we wouldn't think that he would be solving a problem of ours from a different angle that we would never even think of. So it's very important to try to remember that even when you're going through really hard times, that Jesus can come help you from angles that you would never even imagine. He has the power. He has the glory to help you out in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Don't lock him in a box. Don't think of him as only being able to help you from one angle. He's able to help you from a million angles. Walking out on water to come get you. Sleeping in a boat and waking up and telling the storm to stop. God, he has millions of ways to be able to help. Jesus is awesome. And I use the words God and Jesus interchangeably because they are the same. God is Jesus. Jesus is God. So, that's why I always bounce back and forth between the word God and the word Jesus, because they are the same. So remember, God, Jesus, can help you in any way he so chooses. Never put him in a box thinking like he's only going to be able to help you a certain way. Just put it in his hands, whatever the problem is, and let it go. Just let it go. Let it float out on the water by itself. The storm will come. It'll look like it's going to sink, but he'll come walking on the water to help you out, and you didn't expect him coming that way. Remember, God can help you in any way he chooses. So that's just my thought for today. I love you guys. Remember, even when there's a storm, even when it looks crazy like you're going to die, God's going to come from an angle that you never even expected to help you out. Don't think he abandoned you, because just because you can't see him doesn't mean he's not close. Those guys on the boat didn't think he was with them, and he was closer than they could ever have imagined. He was walking out to them. So that's my thought for today. I just want to thank Smoldering Wick Ministries, Reverend Lillian Kobos, for giving me this Bible. She sent it to me. It's an awesome Bible, and I thank her for this gift. It's been a really, really big blessing for my life. It's helped me a lot in my studies. Again, check out Smoldering Wick Ministries, Reverend Lillian Kobos. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless you.